Welcome back to Tungal College online classes. Hello students, how are you all? In last class you learned preparation of alcohols and phenols. The today's topic is properties of alcohols. The properties of alcohols mainly divided into two types. One is physical properties and the second one is chemical properties. Let us write them. The first one, physical properties, and second one, chemical properties. The second one is chemical properties. Now let us discuss one by one in detail. The first one is physical properties. In that the first one is boiling points. Boiling points. Now we will discuss boiling points of alcohols. In that, point number one, boiling points of alcohols increases with increasing the number of carbon atoms. Let us understand this point by taking one example. So, understanding purpose I am taking CH3 CH2OH. So, molecule is CH3 CH2OH. The second one is CH3 CH2 CH2OH. This is the second molecule. And the third one I am taking CH3 CH2, CH2, CH2OH. I took three molecules, 1, 2, 3. Now first what we have to do is we have to check the number of carbons in each molecule. This molecule 1, 2 carbons. This molecule 1, 2, 3 carbons. This molecule 1, 2, 3, 4 carbons. Number of carbons is increases. The number of carbons is increases. Here is 4 carbons. Here is 3 carbons. Here is 2 carbons. This structure I am labeling as 1. This structure I am labeling as 2. This structure I am labeling as 3 to compare the boiling points. For that purpose I am representing 1, 2, 3 third molecules. Then the boiling point order is 3 is always greater than 2. 2 is greater than 1. This is the order. Now the question is arises. What is the question is, while the boiling point of this third molecule is greater than the second molecule, and the second molecule boiling point is greater than that of the first molecule, what is the reason behind it? Now, number of carbons is increases. Number of carbons increases, molecular mass of the compound is increases. This is one point. Number of carbons increases, molecular mass of the compound is going to get increases. From 1 to 2 molecule, molecular mass increases. 2 to 3, molecular mass increases. And one more point is when the number of carbons increases, surface area of the molecule is increases. What is my point is, if you look at here, this is the molecule. This is the molecule, right? I am writing another molecule, CH3, CH2, CH2, CH2OH. This is another molecule, imagine. Two molecules are side by side. Now, this is the surface area available to contact between them. There is a large surface area, that means more the surface area, more is the van der Waals force increases. So, surface area increases, area of contact increases. As a result, this is one molecule, this is another molecule. Between the two molecules, so area of contact is increases. As a result, the boiling point is increases. Area of contact increases. As a result, van der Waals force increases. And the van der Waals force increases. To break this force of attraction between these two molecules required high temperature. As a result, boiling point is very high for this molecule. Coming to this case, so this is one molecule, imagine already one molecule is there. I am writing another molecule, CH3 CH2OH. This is another molecule. Now look at area of contact, compare these two cases. Here is the surface area is less. Here is a surface area is area of contact is less here. Here area of contact is more here. More the area of contact, more is the van der Waals force between them, and separating these two molecules required high temperature. Here is area of contact is less. So area of contact means van der Waals force is less. First we have to compare. We have to consider van der Waals force. Here is van der Waals force is less. Here is van der Waals force is more. So van der Waals force is more. We require high temperature to separate these two molecules. Here van der Waals force is less. Less temperature enough to separate the two molecules, so that number of carbons increases, van der Waals force is increases. What is the statement you have tried is boiling points of alcohols increases with increasing the number of carbon atoms due to van der Waals force. Simple reason. Write the same sentence. The boiling points of alcohols increases with the boiling points of alcohols increases with increase in number of carbon atoms. Increase number of carbon atoms due to van der Waals force. Due to van der Waals force, number of carbons increases, van der Waals force is increases. Force increases. So due to van der Waals force, so simply another reason is increasing of van der Waals force. This is the boiling point of one case. And the second point is the boiling points of alcohols among the isomers. Among the isomers, the boiling points of alcohols decreases with increase in the branching. What is my point is, I am taking example CH3, CH2, CH2, CH2OH. This is the molecule I took. And to this molecule, number of carbons 1, 2, 3, 4. Molecular formula, this number of carbons is C4, and number of hydrogens 3 plus 2, 5, 7, 9, and this hydrogen is 10. C4H10O. Clear? This molecule has molecular formula C4H10O. And the same molecule I am taking here. The molecule is in another way. I am taking its isomer. This is the, look at this molecule, number of carbons 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 carbons, hydrogen 3 3 are 9, and this is one C4H10 and 1 oxygen. So these two molecules have same molecular formulas. Molecular formulas are same, but their structures are different. These two are structural isomers. Now the point is, look at, here is no branch. It is a single straight chain. But this molecule has a branch. This molecule has this is the branch for this molecule. When the branches increases, in alcohols, branches increases, boiling points are decreases. I am labeling this as the first molecule, this is the second molecule. Then we have to compare. The boiling point of first molecule is greater than the second molecule. Boiling point of first molecule is greater than second molecule. This is mainly due to increasing of branching. When the branches increases, what will happen? So this is the molecule. If you keep another molecule here, same molecule I am writing CH3, CH2, CH2, CH2OH. Already we wrote this is the area of contact. Van der Waals force is maximum. So in this molecule, van der Waals force is maximum. Coming to this molecule, this is the molecule, and we have to keep another molecule like this. This is another molecule. This is CH3, CH3, CH3OH. Here is area of contact is very less. When the branches increases, van der Waals force decreases. Very, very important point. When the branches increases, van der Waals force is decreased because of area of contact is, surface area of contact is decreases. So branching increases, boiling points are decreases. Same sentence you have to write. Boiling points of alcohols. Boiling points of alcohols decreases, boiling points of alcohol decreases with increase in branching. Boiling points of alcohol decreases with increasing branching. What is the reason? Branching increases, van der Waals force is decreases. So this alcohol has more boiling, structure 1 has more boiling point than the second structure. This is among isomers. Among the isomers, boiling points of alcohols decreases with increasing branching. This is a second point regarding the boiling point. Next point regarding the boiling points. The boiling points of alcohols are greater than ethers and hydrocarbons of comparable molecular masses. It is due to presence of intermolecular hydrogen bonding in alcohols. Let us understand this statement taking an example. I am taking an alcohol CH3CH2OH. This is an alcohol. Right? I am taking example ether. CH3OCH3. This is ether. In ether, oxygen is separated by the 2 carbons. If oxygen is separated by the 2 carbons, we have to consider these compounds as ethers. The next one I am taking hydrocarbon. So CH3, CH2, CH3. This is a hydrocarbon. This is hydrocarbon propane. Then we have to write its molecular mass. We are taking the alcohols, ethers and carbons with comparable molecular masses. Then this molecular mass, carbon 12 plus 12, 24. 24, 3, 6 hydrogen, 3, 2 and this one, total 6 hydrogens. 24 plus 6, 30. 30 plus this is oxygen is 16. Total is 46. 46 gram per mole. These two are isomers. This molecular mass also 46 gram per mole. And this is propane, its molecular mass is 44 gram per mole. So molecular mass is almost comparable, similar will be there, 46, 46, so this is 44 less value, so that we are taking comparable molecular mass, exactly not same, we have to take a comparable molecular masses. So these 3 molecules have comparable molecular masses, these 2 are same. Then I am labeling this structure as 1, this structure as 2, this molecule as 3. This one is 1, 2, 3. Now we have to compare the boiling points of these 3 molecules. So boiling point of alcohol is always greater than the ether is greater than the hydrocarbon. So this point meaning is boiling points of alcohols greater than ethers and hydrocarbons of comparable molecular masses. This is mainly due to intermolecular hydrogen bonding in alcohol. So I am labeling intermolecular hydrogen bonding alcohol I am representing as ROH. ROH. Now I am labeling this hydrogen bonding hydrogen bonding in alcohols. So this is a hydrogen of alcohol OR. HOR. This oxygen is partially negative charge, this hydrogen is partially positive charge. I am taking another alcohol molecule HOR. Right? This is the partially negative charge, this is the partially positive charge. I am taking one more HOR. Partially positive, this is partially negative. Now look at this molecule. Here is a oxygen is more electronegative element, so that partial negative. Oxygen of one alcohol molecule binds attracts the hydrogen of another alcohol molecule between them. This is partially negative, this is the partial positive. Between them force of attraction is developed. This bond we have to call it as this bond is called as a hydrogen bond. Hydrogen bonding. Hydrogen bond formed between more electronegative element of one molecule and hydrogen of another molecule. This is a hydrogen bond. For this case, this is the more electronegative element of this molecule and this is the hydrogen of other molecule. Between the molecules, not within the molecule. This hydrogen bond is between the molecules. So this hydrogen bonding is called as intermolecular hydrogen bonding. This hydrogen bonding is called as intermolecular hydrogen bonding because between the 2 molecules there is a hydrogen bonding. So boiling points of alcohols is greater than boiling points of ethers and hydrocarbons of comparable molecular mass because of intermolecular hydrogen bonding in alcohol. When the intermolecular hydrogen bonding is there, if you want to separate these 2 molecules to evaporate, to break this force of attraction, you require high temperature. So because to break the hydrogen bonding, you require high temperature. As a result, boiling points is going to get increases. This is regarding the boiling points of alcohol. So write the same sentence here. So what is the sentence is boiling point of alcohols is greater than boiling point of alcohol is greater than ether and hydrocarbons of comparable molecular mass. Of comparable molecular mass. It is due to what is the reason? intermolecular hydrogen bonding in alcohols. It is due to intermolecular hydrogen bonding in alcohols. Intermolecular hydrogen bonding in alcohol. This point only I wrote in the form of a this statement I wrote, this explanation I wrote in the form of a statement. Then regarding physical properties, next one is solubility. Solubility. Alcohols are highly soluble in water. This is mainly due to the formation of intermolecular hydrogen bonding between water molecule and alcohol molecule. Let us understand this statement by taking example. I am writing alcohol molecule ROH. This is alcohol molecule. So oxygen is more electronegative. It has partially negative charge. Hydrogen has partially positive charge. Clear? Then I am writing water molecule HOH. In this case also, oxygen is partially negative, hydrogen is partially positive. I am taking another water molecule like this. This is partial negative, this is the partial positive, this is the partial positive. Now look at here. Oxygen atom of alcohol molecule form the hydrogen bonds with hydrogen of water molecule like this. Oxygen of alcohol molecule and hydrogen of water molecule form the hydrogen bond, this hydrogen bond. Here is another possibility is there. In this case, oxygen of alcohol molecule, hydrogen of water molecule. But here oxygen of water molecule, hydrogen of alcohol molecule between them. This is also a hydrogen bonding. So due to formation of this hydrogen bonding, the alcohols are highly soluble in water. This is intermolecular hydrogen bonding because the hydrogen bonding formed between alcohol molecule and water molecule. The hydrogen bonding between the two molecules is called as intermolecular hydrogen bonding. The intermolecular hydrogen bonding formed between the alcohol molecules and water molecules. As a result, alcohols are highly soluble in water. The same explanation you will write in the statement. What is the statement? Alcohols are highly soluble in water. Alcohols are highly soluble in water due to formation of intermolecular hydrogen bonding between alcohol and water molecule, between alcohol and water. So this is a solubility. This is another physical property. Next topic is chemical properties of alcohol. The chemical reactions of alcohols are divided into two types on the basis of cleavage of carbon-oxygen bond and OH bond. What is this point meaning is, let us understand by taking example. I am taking alcohol RCH2OH. Right, this is the alcohol. This is in between the carbon and oxygen there is a bond. If this bond is broken, it will give one type of product. So cleavage of bond between carbon oxygen bond, and the second possibility is there is a cleavage of oxygen hydrogen bond, OH bond. If carbon oxygen bond is broken, give the one type of product. If oxygen hydrogen bond is broken, this bond it give the another type of product. So we divide the reactions of alcohols into two types on the basis of cleavage. First one is reactions involving cleavage of carbon oxygen bond. So let us write it. First category, reactions involving cleavage of carbon oxygen bond. Cleavage of carbon oxygen bond, simply CO bond. CO bond in alcohol. in alcohols. This is the first category of chemical reaction. And the second category of reactions is reactions involving cleavage of OH bond. Cleavage of OH bond. This is the second category of reactions. Now let us discuss one by one in detail. Let us first discuss reactions involving cleavage of carbon oxygen bond. That means cleavage of this bond, not OH bond. Now let us discuss one by one in detail. The first one is reactions involving cleavage of carbon oxygen bond. Reaction number 1. Reaction with HX, hydrogen halide. Reactions of alcohols with HX. Now, alcohols react with HX form alkyl halides. What is the meaning is, I am taking alcohol ROH. Alcohol react with HX. Now, how to write the product is, remove this OH, take this hydrogen, understanding purpose, this one. OH, H, eliminate in the form of H2O. One product is H2O formed. Then this X attached to this R. This X attached to this R, then the product is RX plus H2O. This RX is called as alkyl halide. This is called as alkyl halide. This is alcohol. So how to write the product? OH and this these two elements in the form of a water H2O. This X halogen attached to this alkyl group will get RX. This is called as alkyl halide. Write the same sentence. Alcohols react with HX will form alkyl halides. And this reaction in presence of ZnCl2. In presence of ZnCl2. Write the same sentence. Alcohols reacts with HX hydrogen halide in presence of ZnCl2, that too anhydrous ZnCl2 gives alkyl halides. In the case of tertiary alcohol, without ZnCl2 also the product will be get formed. This alcohol may be primary, that may be secondary, that may be tertiary. Primary alcohols we can take, secondary alcohols we can take tertiary alcohols also. To distinguish the primary alcohols, secondary alcohols, tertiary alcohols, we will use Lucas test. Now we will discuss about Lucas test. Lucas test. Lucas test is used to distinguish primary, secondary, tertiary alcohols. To distinguish primary, secondary, tertiary alcohols, we have to use Lucas test. Then Lucas reagent. So what is the Lucas reagent? 1:1 ratio of concentrated HCl and anhydrous ZnCl2 is a Lucas reagent. 1:1 ratio of concentrated HCl and anhydrous ZnCl2. So the 1:1 ratio of concentrated HCl and anhydrous ZnCl2 is called as a Lucas reagent. Here also we can take anhydrous ZnCl2. This is a Lucas reagent. Now let us take the primary, secondary, tertiary alcohols one by one. We will discuss the reaction of primary, secondary, tertiary alcohol with Lucas reagent at room temperature. This point keep in your mind. So first I am taking primary alcohol RCH2OH. This is a primary alcohol. So this R attached to the OH attached carbon, OH attached carbon attached to only one, imagine one carbon is there. This is a primary alcohol. I am taking a Lucas reagent. Lucas reagent is concentrated HCl plus anhydrous ZnCl2. concentrated HCl and anhydrous ZnCl2 at room temperature. At room temperature, primary alcohols do not form any product at room temperature. This point very very important. At room temperature, primary alcohols do not form any product. But when the temperature increases, when the temperature is rises more than room temperature, then simply we have to heat it. Then product, in this case the product will get formed. So what is the product we can expect is RCH2OH. Remove this OH, add chlorine from this HCl. Then the product is RCH2Cl is the product formed in this reaction. Alkyl halide is the product. Now this is happened, this point never forget, this reaction is happened only at a high temperature, not at a room temperature. Now we are discussing about room temperature to distinguish. Secondary alcohol taken are CHCrOH. This is OH attached carbon attached to two different carbons. This alkyl group contains only one carbon. Imagine this is a secondary alcohol. This is secondary alcohol. And I am taking a Lucas reagent. Lucas reagent. I already wrote, I am not writing here. Lucas reagent I already wrote, concentrated HCl and anhydrous ZnCl2. So secondary alcohol is treated with Lucas reagent and the product is RCHRCl. Now important point is that when the secondary alcohol is added to the Lucas reagent, the turbidity formed within 1 or 2 minutes. So turbidity formed within 1 to 2 minutes at room temperature. This point keep in mind, room temperature primary alcohols do not react with Lucas reagent. That point never forget. Initially I kept there is no reaction. So primary alcohols at room temperature won't react. And I am taking tertiary alcohols OH gives rise to Lucas reagent. Lucas reagent. Then what is the product in this case? Remove this OH group from the Lucas reagent. Chlorine is attach this chlorine to in the place of OH. Then the product is RCrCl. This is the product formed in this reaction. This is a tertiary alcohol. An important point is turbidity. How do you identify the reaction? Is turbidity will be formed immediately. Turbidity formed immediately. Turbidity formed immediately. The turbidity formed immediately when the Lucas reagent added to the alcohol. If the turbidity formed immediately without any time gap, so that alcohol is a tertiary alcohol. Tertiary alcohols will form turbidity immediately. And coming to the secondary alcohols, when the Lucas reagent added to the alcohols, turbidity formed after 1 to 2 minutes, not immediately. After 1 to 2 minutes, that is secondary alcohols. Clear? And Lucas reagent is added to the tertiary alcohols at room temperature. There is no product. I am rewriting this equation for understanding purpose. RCH2OH. This is primary alcohol. For understanding purpose, I am writing Lucas reagent. There is no product. These three reactions at room temperature. These three reactions at room temperature. Now you will get the clarity. At room temperature, primary alcohols do not form any product with Lucas reagent. Point number 1. Secondary alcohols form the turbidity within 1 to 2 minutes, not immediately. So primary alcohols do not react. Secondary alcohols form the turbidity after 1 to 2 minutes. This is the second point. Third point, tertiary alcohols react with Lucas reagent immediately if they form the turbidity. So turbidity formed immediately is a tertiary alcohol. Turbidity formed after 1 or 2 minutes is a secondary alcohol. So there is no reaction of Lucas reagent with alcohol, that is a primary alcohol at room temperature. This point never forget. But if temperature is rises for the primary alcohol, the product is RCH2Cl. This is at high temperature. These three reactions at at a low temperature. This is the Lucas reagent to distinguish primary, secondary and tertiary alcohols. Right, one more important point is reactivity order of alcohols with Lucas reagent. I already said this is immediately reacting. That means reactivity order of primary, secondary and tertiary alcohols, which is more reactive among all. Tertiary alcohols immediately they are forming turbidity. So tertiary alcohol more reactive with Lucas reagent is greater than, and next one is what, it is reacting 1 to 2 minutes. Then secondary alcohol, then primary alcohols are not reacting with Lucas reagent at room temperature. Next primary alcohol. This is the reactivity order of primary, secondary, tertiary alcohols with Lucas reagent. This is reaction number 1. Reactions involving cleavage of carbon oxygen bond in that reaction with HX. Reaction number 1. Next reaction is dehydration of alcohol. This is the second one. Dehydration of alcohol. Dehydration of alcohols. Dehydration meaning is removal of molecule of water. So simply removal of water molecule from compound. Removal of water molecule from compound is called as a dehydration. Simply removing water molecule. So alcohols undergo dehydration to form alkenes on treating with protic acids like concentrated H2SO4, H3PO4, or we can take catalysts such as alumina Al2O3 or anhydrous ZnCl2. If you take any of these reagents, so the product is alkene. Then take an example for a better understanding of this statement. I am taking example C hydrogen, these two hydrogens CH and OH. This is the alcohol. This is alcohol. By treating with concentrated acids H plus followed by heat, then between this OH will go outside. We will take one hydrogen from this molecule, take hydrogen, this OH element in the form of a water. So it eliminates in the form of a water. In addition to this, between the two carbon atoms, so double bond is formed. CHH I am writing as CH2 double bond CH2. So this is alkene. This is alkene. So when alcohols undergo dehydration, removing of water molecule, the product is alkene. Write the sentence. Alcohols undergo dehydration. Alcohols undergo dehydration to form alkenes by treating with or on treating with concentrated H2SO4 or H3PO4 or catalyst like such as Al2O3, alumina, or we can take anhydrous ZnCl2. So if you take any reagent to concentrate H2SO4 or H3PO4, or you can use alumina, or you can use anhydrous ZnCl2, the product is alkene. So this is a dehydration of alkenes. The dehydration of alkenes meaning is simply removing of water molecule, from alcohol. This is called as a dehydration. The dehydration of alcohols involves a mechanism. So now let us look into the mechanism of dehydration of alcohols. Mechanism of dehydration of alcohols involves three steps. Mechanism involves three steps. Step number 1, formation of alcohol. Formation of protonated alcohol. This meaning is I'm taking this reaction here, CH. This is second hydrogen, this is third hydrogen present on this carbon, and I'm taking second, and this is OH. This is alcohol. This is alcohol. Then this one we are treating with what? H plus. This is from acid. So here is lone pair of electrons present on the oxygen. This lone pair of electrons attack upon this hydrogen. Lone pair of electrons attack upon this hydrogen. As a result, the product is O, and this already OH is there. OH is there. This hydrogen attaching to this oxygen like this. As a result, oxygen with 3 bonds, 1, 2, 3 will get a positive charge. So this is a protonated alcohol. So first step is a formation of a protonated alcohol. First we have to take the alcohol when treated with acid. This from the acid H plus will come. This H plus will attack upon the lone pair of H plus is attacked by the lone pair of electrons present on the oxygen. As a result, protonated alcohol is formed. This is step number 1. Step number 2. Step 2. Formation of carbocation. Formation of carbocation. Formation of carbocation. So how the carbocation formed, let us see. What is the product formed in the first step? Take here. As it is, what is the step I wrote here? Right here. So what is the step? C H O H. Oxygen with the positive charge. Right? Oxygen with positive charge, 3 bonds is there. This is unstable, so that this bond is migrating towards oxygen. Oxygen with 3 bonds is unstable, so that this bond is breaking and this bond is shifting towards oxygen. As a result, the product is CH, CH, this is H. This bond is going, this carbon will get positive charge. And this we are getting water. This OH is water is going outside, will be taken as a H2O. This is a formation of what? Carbocation. The second step is a formation of carbocation. Simply removing of the simple formation of carbocation, since carbon with positive charge is called as a carbocation. Carbon with positive charge in molecule is called as a carbocation. This is the second step. Formation of a carbocation. Step number 3. Formation of alkene by elimination of proton, or simply H plus. Formation of protein by elimination of proton, removing of one proton from this carbocation will get alkene. So what is the step I wrote in the second? This step as it is you can take here. Then H, this is the positive charge, it has 2 hydrogens. Clear? This bond between the hydrogen and carbon, this bond is shifted to here. This bond will be shifted here. As a result, the product is C. This is the one hydrogen, this is the second hydrogen. One hydrogen, second hydrogen. This hydrogen is going outside. Then this bond is moving to, in the sense between the 2 carbons, a double bond is formed. Already one bond is there. This bond is shifting to here. As a result, double bond will get. These 2 hydrogens remains same. Hydrogen and hydrogen. Then another one is will get a H plus. Clear? Then this is the product is alkene. The product formed here is alkene. This is a formation of alkene by elimination of proton. This is step number 3. So the mechanism of formation of alkenes from alcohols involves 3 steps. Step 1 is formation of protonated alcohol. Step 2 is formation of carbocation, and step 3 is formation of alkene by elimination of proton. So this is a 3-step mechanism. This is a dehydration of alcohols. So dehydration of alcohols means, dehydration meaning is removing of water molecule from alcohol is called as a dehydration, and one more important point, this concentrated H2SO4, H3PO4 can act as a dehydrating agents. By using these reagents, we will remove the water molecules from the compounds. They are dehydrating agents. Now let us see some examples for the dehydration of alcohols. The first example I am taking CH3, CH2, CH2OH. Then upon treating with H plus followed by heat, dehydration, then we have to remove this water molecule. How do you remove? Between where the OH group is there, this OH group and next carbon, this carbon, from this you can remove one hydrogen. Then this CH3 remains same, CH3. C, we have to remove one hydrogen. Where the OH group is there, next carbon hydrogen you can remove, not go far away from it. So next carbon hydrogen you can remove. Then CH double bond CH2. CH double bond CH2 will get H2O here on the product. Then this is the first example. I am taking another example, CH3, CH2, CHOH, CH3. This is the example is given. Upon treating with dehydrating agents followed by heat, then what is the product? You can remove the hydrogen from either this carbon or either this carbon. You can remove the hydrogen from any carbon, meaning remains same. Then the product is CH3 bond CH double bond CH2. I removed, I write in CH2H, this bond is moving here, this OH and this H eliminated in the form of water. So for understanding purpose, we have to follow mechanism. Here also you can take, I am writing this as CH2OH, this one, for understanding purpose I am writing, and this I am writing as CHH. These two elements in the form of a water, this bond is going to get shifting to there. Then the product is CH3, CH double bond CH2. Like that also you can write the product for understanding purpose. I am taking another example, CH3, CH3OH bond CH3. This is the alcohol I took, H plus followed by heat. Then what is the product we can expect from here? In this case, hydrogen, 3 carbon, this OH attached carbon attached to 3 different carbons. All carbons remains the same, so that you can remove the hydrogen from any carbon. Suppose I am removing, I am writing as a CH2H. This hydrogen will come here, this OH will come outside. OH H in the form of H2O, between these two carbon atoms form double bond. Then the product is CH3, C, then double bond. This CH3 remains the same, double bond between this carbon and this carbon, double bond CH2, isn't it? So like this we have to write the product. You can take one more example. Another example I am taking cyclic compound. I am taking, here is the OH. OH is there. Then we have to form the bond, double bond alkene we have to form here. How to form? I am writing as this carbon meaning is CH, CH2, 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 isn't it? This is made up of hydrogen, 2 hydrogens is there. This carbon attached to carbon, this carbon attached to all these carbons are carbons, isn't it? All these are carbons. Then this carbon attached to 2 hydrogens. This carbon attached to how many hydrogens? 2 hydrogens. Each carbon attached to 2 hydrogens because we have to satisfy the valency of carbon by 4 bonds. Then this hydrogen will come, this bond will come here, this OH will go outside. OH, this H converting into H2O. Then what is the remaining is between this carbon and this carbon, there is a formation of a double bond like this. This is another product formed in the reaction. Suppose I am taking another example, a different example, CH3, CH2, CHOH, CH2, CH3. Now what is the product formed in this reaction? This reaction very important. There are 2 possibilities. We can remove this proton and we can remove this proton. So here we are going to get to 2 products. One product I am writing, I am removing this H, this removing as a water molecule, this bond moving to here. What is the product? Look at carefully, CH3, CH, isn't it? Between these two double bond, CH, isn't it? Then CH3. Clear? This is CH3. Apart from it, second possibility, I am now reading it as CH2H, I am removing this proton. First I removed this carbon hydrogen and this OH. where the OH is there, that OH beside that beside carbon's hydrogens we have to remove. This hydrogen, this OH element in the form of eliminated, I got this product. Now I'm removing this hydrogen and this OH. I'm labeling otherwise. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. First I removed OH of second carbon and hydrogen of third carbon, this carbon. I removed this product. Now I am removing OH of the second carbon, hydrogen of the first carbon, Then the product is CH3, CH double bond, CH2 bond, CH, here we have to form the double bond, CH double bond CH2. This is the product formed. Now the question is arises, which is the main product, which is the minor product. So to identify two double bonded carbon, many number of substituents will be there, that is more stable. To this double bond carbon, this is one substituent, this is another substituent. Two substituents is there. This is the double bonded carbon. To the double bonded carbon, only one substituent is there. More than number of substituents attached to the double bonded carbon, they are more stable. So this is the major product. This is the major product, this is a minor product, very less quantity will be there. This is the main product. Simply we can take it as this is main product. Why? The double bond carbon attached to two substituents here, but here double bond carbon attached to only one substituent. Major, this is the minor. These are the some examples of dehydration of alcohols to form alkenes. Next reaction is reaction with phosphorus trihalides. Reaction number 3. Reaction with phosphorus trihalides. Reaction with trihalides. Alcohols react with phosphorus trihalides like PbR3, PCl3 form alkyl halides. Let us take one example. I am taking PbR3, ROH plus PbR3, phosphorus tribromide. Then how do you write the product is this OH, this P element in the form of H3PO3. I am taking 3 molecules of ROH, 3 Br is there, 3 bromines is there, we have take 3 alkyl groups. Then we have tried 3 R, this bromines attached to this R, then we get 3 RBr. Otherwise simply can take this element in the form of H3PO3 for understanding purpose. Then we can take plus H, how many hydrogens? 3 hydrogens I am writing as H3 and P, 3 oxygens O3, H3PO3. H3PO3 remaining part is what we have. This bromines attached to this alkyl group R, Br. So this is a product formed in this reaction. I am taking one more example. 3 ROH plus PCl3, phosphorus trichloride I took. Then again this element in the form of H3PO3. How do you eliminate H3PO3? Plus H, 3 molecule, 3 hydrogens I am writing as H3. Next I am writing as P. Next I am writing as 3 oxygens is there O3. H3PO3 and another product is remaining chlorines. 3 chlorines to 3 alkyl groups will be there. So R, Cl, how many is there? 3 RCl. So simply alkyl halides. Alkyl chloride, this one. This is alkyl halide, alkyl bromide. So simple point is reactions of alcohols with phosphorus trihalides such as phosphorus tribromide, phosphorus trichloride will produce alkyl halide as a product. Next class I will come out with another continuation topic